Good morning. We are continuing on our percentages unit. Today we are doing CO44. I can find a percent of change. Because we spent a lot of time talking about the math packet that we need to have done for tomorrow, and we were reviewing our homework, we're not probably going to get through this full lesson today. So this is going to be split, but I need us paying attention. So we'll start it today and finish it tomorrow. So not today. Okay, so we are going to continue this objective tomorrow. So the work page we will be doing tomorrow. Okay, so let's look at our binder sheet. I can find a percent of change. Percent of change is a percent that shows how much a quantity has increased or decreased in comparison with the original amount. So the percent of change is the amount of increase or decrease divided by the original amount. So if our percent of change went from 15 to 19, we want to find what that increase or decrease is. So 19 minus 15 gives us 4. And then we put it over the original amount. The original amount was 15. So we have 4 15ths. Remember that fraction bar means divide. So we want to do 4 divided by 15, and we get our decimal, 0.267. We can turn that decimal into our percentage. 26.7%. What's the problem, Dayton?
Like I do like 4
Divided by?
Yeah, so 4 and 15.
So there is a button on this calculator where it'll flip it so it doesn't give you the fraction and it'll give you the decimal. I can't remember off the top of my head which button it is. What is it?
S to D. What the heck is that?
This S to D.
Yeah.
You press that, then you get your decimal. Yep, it's the S arrow D. So it flips it back and forth between the fractions and the decimals. We don't want to put in 4 divided by 15 and get 4 15ths. That's not getting us the right answer. We want it as a decimal so we can make that decimal into a percentage. No, I know, but what he was doing was he put in 4 divided by 15, and the answer didn't come like that. The answer said 4 15ths. Yeah, so we were just showing him how he could get the decimal answer. Okay, friends, we're still learning. We're definitely not being silly with our calculators. Percent of increase is the percent of change in quantity when the new amount of the quantity is greater than the original. It increased. So the opposite is the percent of decrease. The change in quantity when the new amount is less than the original. Where's one place we would see those percentages of increase and decrease? Yeah. I go shopping.
Like stores?
And I see it in the stores. Yeah.
Item.
So when something's on sale, how much on sale is it? What's the percentage off that it is? Okay, so this is something that you will use in everyday life. Okay, so it is good to know. Finding a percent of increase. What is the percent of increase from 8 to 13? First thing we have to do is find what our numerator is going to be. The amount of increase or decrease. So from 8 to 13. We're going from a small number to a big number, so it's an increase. What is the amount of increase from 8 to 13? What math do I do? to find that amount of increase from 8 to 13? Aiden.
Subtraction.
I subtract 13 minus 8 is 4. 5.
Oh, okay, good.
That was just to confuse me. So 13 minus 8 is 5. So that is my numerator. That's my amount of increase. What do I put as my denominator? What do I put?
13.
So it says original amount. What was my original amount? If I go from 8 to 13, what did I start with?
8.
I started with the 8. That is my first amount. I went from 8 to 13. So I want to put my original amount on the bottom. Is that my answer, 5/8? It's not a percent. I need to find a percent. In order to find the percent, I have to find the decimal. So how do I go from a fraction to a decimal, Anthony? What's the fraction bar mean? What operation are we doing? Yeah, division.
Oh,
5 divided by 8. 5 divided by 8. What is 5 divided by 8?
Divided by 0.625.
0.625. Can I turn a decimal? Well, it's on the binder sheet, guys.
Oh, wait, what?
We're really not doing any funky math here.
Oh,
It's on the binder sheet.
I see it now. So like the answer now is like 52.5.
So to go from 0.625 to turn my decimal into a percentage, turn your decimal into a percent. So that was finding the percent of the increase. Now, what is the percent of a decrease from 49? Now it goes down to 35. How do I find my decrease? Leo? 49 minus 35
14.
gives me 14. What do I do with that 14?
And then you like 14
What do I do with the 14?
over 14 over
I put 14 on the top of my fraction.
14 over 49
Why 49?
because it's the number we started with.
It's the original amount. That's the number we start with. Your original amount. So what does the fraction bar mean? What operation do we have to do, Anna? Divide. So 14 divided by 49. Use your calculator. 14 divided by 49. Lily. 0.286. Now I need to find the percent. So I need to change my decimal into my percent.
Wait, 49 equals
And they rounded it to the 100th place, or to the 1000th place. They just rounded it to the 1000th place. Because you should never have to write oodles of numbers when you're doing a percent. You can round it, okay? So if you put it in your calculator, there's a whole lot more numbers beyond 0.286. We don't need to go that far out, okay? You can round it. How are we feeling about this?
Oh, I'm feeling really
I'm glad Peyton is feeling good. How is everybody else feeling?
good.
Is it making sense?
Yes.
Okay. Lots of thumbs up. Thank you for those of us that were responding. Shh. Let's look, because we're not done, using a percent of change. A taco company puts 24 taco shells in every box. Recently, the company expanded the box and put 25% more shells in each box. How many shells are in every box now? So the first thing we want to do is find the amount of the increase. 25% more. So it increased by 25%. How can we find 25% of the 24 shells? What does of mean?
Means like
Multiply. So if we have 25% times 24, can we multiply a percent? What do we have to do to that percent? It does. What is the decimal for 25%? 0.25. Remember, we moved that decimal place over 2 places to the left. So 0.25 times 24 gives me what?
it's 6.
So, this is where you really need to think through what the question is and am I answering it? The question is, how many shells are in every box now? Is the answer 6?
No.
Why not? 6 is my answer. 0.25 times 24. Why wouldn't the answer be 6?
The answer is 30.
Why?
You gotta add it.
Why?
Because I'm guessing.
Why?
Because I don't know what to do.
Why?
Because my brain doesn't work like that.
Why?
Because I don't know.
Okay, so let's break down our information. Friends, break down the information. We start with 24 shells in the box. We increase it 25%. That increase of 25 is 6. So that means there are 6 more shells being added to the box. So it's saying, how many shells are there now? Well, we started with 24 and we added 6 more. It increased. Increase means add. It increased by 6. That's why we add 6 to it, because that is the increase. What we found here is our increase. So we have to add that to the original amount. So let's do a little practice. Find the percent of change. If our original had 16 and now it has 28, what is that percent of change? Who remembers what we did at the top of the binder sheet? The amount of increase or decrease over the original amount. So how am I going to set this up?
Okay. I think I have it.
Well, I'm going to let Brielle walk us through. How should I set it up? 28 minus 16, because I need to find out what the change is. So that gives me 12. 12 over 16, because 16 is my original amount. What decimal do I get, Brielle? Peyton, help me out.
0.75.
But I need to say it as a percent. What percent would that be, Brielle? 75%. So my final answer is 75%. So we are going to continue going over this tomorrow, and we will do our work page tomorrow. So make sure you put this in your binder. And for my friends at home, we hope you are well, and we will see you soon.